Welcome back to Rock and Behr for week 6. Hey, how about those games last week? There were some upsets, Rock. What'd you think?
Oh my God. Dallas losing, Kansas City losing, the Bears losing. I mean, which was a bigger upset? Or was it San Diego losing to Denver?
Right.
I don't know. There's going to be some upsets this week,
I
but we'll talk about that. Let's take it away.
Yeah, starting us out with this first game, the no-hope Giants going to go to Foxborough to take a loss to New England. I think New England's defense is too tough. Tom Brady's going to pick apart Giants' defense. If Kirk Cousins could last week, anybody can. So I'm taking New England Big Rock. What do you think?
Well, there's no Barkley. There's no Ingram. There's no Shepard. Golden Tate's back, but that's not really going to help.
Not enough.
It's supposed to rain and be windy and ugly. New England still wins this one by 20.
No, at 20. At 20 at least.
At
Moving
least.
on to the next game, down south, we got Carolina going to see Tampa. Tampa Bay's not getting enough credit. They have a top-tier rush defense, but the pass defense leaves me with question marks. So that means to me, Allen's going to air the ball out like he's been doing thus far. I'm taking Carolina to win by 14. Rock, what do you think?
All right, first of all, this game's not down south. Set your alarm for 8:30 Central Time because this one's in London.
London, baby.
Anyway, Josh, what's his name? Kyle Allen looks really good. Will Cam Newton get his job back? Who
That's
knows?
To be determined.
Who knows? I like Carolina with McCaffrey and Olsen and Kuechly. I think that Tampa's looked pretty good, but even though they beat him last time,
Yep.
Tampa beat him this year, but not on Sunday.
Not on Sunday. All right, so we're the same with Carolina. The next game, we are different. We got New Orleans going to see Saxonville. I think Jacksonville's defense hasn't looked the same. They've been getting to the quarterback, but it's not enough to stop New Orleans and their smart coaching. Kamara's going to be able to run the ball. Jacksonville's run defense has been okay. The pass rush's been good. I'm taking New Orleans to win closely, maybe by a touchdown, but New Orleans on the road, Rock. What do you think?
Well, I think Miles Jack is going to stop Kamara. I
Okay.
think that Saxonville, hey, the Cowboys sacked Teddy Bridgewater 5 times.
I got to him.
And this is Saxonville. I got to take Saxonville at home, outright, win.
A dog. Okay, moving on. We got the next game. We got Watson. He's looking hot. The team's looking pretty like they're going to win in the trenches down with J.J. Watt. He's going to be getting to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick's not been looking like his normal self. His foot, his ankle, whatever it is, it has me hesitant to take Kansas City at home. So I'm taking Houston on the road to win with the upset. Rock, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna take Kansas City to win but not cover. I think Mahomes, they're just going to have a little bit too much for Houston. Although this one's going to be close. This is why I don't think Kansas City's going to cover, and it's kind of a coin toss.
On the coin toss, certainly. It's going to be close. It's probably going to be a shootout if I was to make a bet. All right, the next game, Seattle, one of the toughest teams in the NFC, probably maybe the best in their division. Russell Wilson isn't getting enough credit for the season he's having. He's looked pretty much perfect all season long. Cleveland has not. They've been inconsistent. Their rush defense is looking good, but I think Seattle's going to run the ball all over him. I'm taking Seattle by 2 touchdowns. Rock, what do you think?
Well, Seattle, this is not playing with the 12th man. Number one, they say Wilson's having his best year, and he is. He's hard to catch. Watch out for that Cleveland defense. This is the end of the road for Cleveland. Should they lose, they're going to be not that big hype that we had all year.
Super Bowl is out of the question for them.
And this guy Kitchens, they're not using Mayfield right. And I'm going to have to go with Seattle. Actually, Cleveland's favorite. I'm going to take Seattle. I just don't know why, but I'm going to.
Cool, so we got the dogs together on that one. The big game, Philly going to see Minnesota. I think Philly's looking like they're starting to fire on all cylinders. Howard is blooming after his trade from Chicago. The defense is looking tough. Minnesota, I like them. They looked good last week, but this is a big test for them at home, and I think Philly's going to take the W on the road. Rock, what do you think?
Well, Carson Wentz, he's due for a bad game. Minnesota got right last week, finally.
Against the Giants.
Against the Giants. Well said. Minnesota's at home, and I think they're going to win outright. And they're a 3-point favorite. So
Okay, favorite at home. You're taking the safe pick.
I'm taking the safe pick. All right, keep going.
All right, we got Cincinnati. They're going to be using up all their prayers to beat Baltimore. Baltimore has lost to Cleveland, so they could give a game away. They do have the best rush offense in the NFL with Lamar running the ball and Ingram getting his looks. They ran the ball 40 times last week, pretty run heavy. They're below average rush defense, so if Mixon gets 2 touchdowns, maybe since he has a chance, I like Baltimore. Rock, what do you think?
Well, since he would have a chance if this was at home.
Okay.
Baltimore at home, after being embarrassed by Cleveland, they're going to win this game by a couple touchdowns.
By a couple touchdowns. All right,
Yeah.
Baltimore by a couple. We like it. The 2 winless teams in the NFL are bowing off, Washington and Miami. Washington, all signs point to Washington for me. The interim coach is going to kind of have a question mark.
Callahan.
But Miami's defense can get scored on by most college teams. So I'm taking Washington to finally put up some points and take a win on the road to Miami. Rock, what do you think?
Case Keenum's going to get the start. Why? I mean, he's not going to be there next year. These people are playing for the first-round draft choice. There's 3 good quarterbacks. Bama, OU, Georgia. They all got great quarterbacks. So I think Washington's going to take a dive and Miami's going to win this one.
I think Miami's going to take a dive if anybody. Washington has had some closer games. Miami's been blown out all season long, so we're different there.
Alrighty.
Moving on, 2 teams that only have 1 win, but there should be still a pretty interesting game. Atlanta going to see Arizona. Arizona's getting better. They've been good on the ground. I think the home field will decide this for Arizona. I think they're going to get the one at home. Rock, what do you think?
Atlanta's so overdue with Ridley, Sanu, and Julio, and I think they're going to break out of that 1-4 start. Matter of fact, I think Atlanta's going to get hot and really contend at the end of the year. Sometimes there's those teams that start out slow and then they win 6 games. I think Atlanta's going to be one of them.
All right, that's a pretty bold statement. We'll have to see how that one bodes. We got the West Coast battle. San Francisco going to see the Rams. The Rams Gurley didn't practice on Wednesday. Goff is off. He's 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I don't think that's a winning formula for the Rams. San Francisco, on the other hand, they have a better defense. Kittle is going to be their X factor. The tight end position is going to get open. I like San Francisco by 2 touchdowns. Rock, what do you think?
Well, number one, this game's at the Rams, which really is going to make a big difference. San Francisco looked really good when they played Cleveland. I mean, really good. I just think the Rams can't afford to lose. That division is like, we're going to have 2 wild cards there. I think.
Okay.
I think.
That's possible.
So,
tough division.
Gurley, he's going to play. Goff, some of those picks weren't his fault. Russell Williams had these rollouts and these, I guess, kind of lucky, that catch by Lockhart in the end zone where both of his feet were in by the size of what. I'm taking the Rams to win outright.
Rams to win. Okay, we're different on that one.
Absolutely.
We got Dallas looking for redemption. Can they shake off the last 2 weeks with 2 losses, 2 disappointing losses? Jets, they lost to Philly big time. That wasn't really the defense's fault. Jets need Darnold or it's going to be a loss for them. So I'm taking Dallas on the road to win a close game because Jets defense isn't good enough credit for who they've been able to stop.
Well, I have this comment regarding the Cowboys. Kellen Moore was calling some really great plays the first 3 games, 1st and 10, a lot of throwing. I wonder who makes out the game plan. Does Jason Garrett say, well, we want to run the football? I thought the Cowboys' game plan the last 2 games hasn't been very good.
They look a lot better in the second half.
Maybe Kellen Moore's not, Jason Garrett, he's out, he's gone. I think the Cowboys lose this game outright.
Ooh.
And hopefully they'll finally fire Jason Garrett.
Yeah, he's only got 1 year left on this 5-year contract, so it's very possible. But get him out now. We could use a new coach.
I said it for 5 years. He couldn't light a fire under a butane grill. Yep. Jason Garrett is like, see you later.
That's all he does.
Yeah, that's all he does. Even when they do bad, he just sits there and claps like this.
Yep.
Bring back Jimmy Johnson. Come on, Jerry.
Come on, Jimmy. Come back.
Jimmy Johnson, yeah.
We got Tennessee, who's been inconsistent, but they've shown promise. Denver has really turned their season around the last 2 games. I think they're going to win at Mile High, mostly because of the home field advantage. If the defense plays lights out like last week, I think they'll be able to stop Mariota and Henry. So I like Denver at home, Rock. How about you?
Well, it's just another team that's going to make that late season turnaround.
They could.
They're in a tough division. And that win versus the Chargers, that was pretty big. Mariota's unpredictable. So is Joe Flunco.
Joe Flunco, I like that. Nickname.
Joe Flunco. I'm gonna flip flop here. I'm gonna go back to Tennessee.
Back to Tennessee.
Back to Tennessee at 2-3 to win and hang in that tough AFC South.
Alrighty, moving on to the night game, we got Pittsburgh, whose defense has actually repeated another good week. I think that's going to be the answer to stop Chargers, who got shut down by Denver last week. Pittsburgh's a better defense. I'm taking them on the road to beat Rivers and company. Rock, what do you think?
Well, I don't know who's playing quarterback for Rudolph. There's some third-string guy, and I'm sorry. Should you know his name, then you should call us and tell us.
He's number 6, but that's as much as I can say.
Number 6.
Mason did take a big hit last week. He was knocked out by Earl Thomas, and they had to take his mask off. He was limp.
Yeah.
He walked off the field. So we'll have to see if he's cleared concussion protocol or not.
The teams that get embarrassed, all right, which means maybe the Cowboys will win this week. But the teams that get embarrassed, like the Chargers losing to Denver, which was an 0-4 team.
That must have been a comeback, so it wasn't an embarrassment.
Well, it was still an embarrassment to lose. It was an embarrassment to lose.
They couldn't stop the
I
run.
think the Chargers come back and they win this game by 10.
Alrighty, so we're different on that one. Moving on to Monday night. The Detroit Lions, coming off a bye week. They're going against Green Bay. Green Bay at home, they're always tough. Monday night, they're always tough. I think the Aarons in the backfield, Rodgers and the running back, they're going to be able to have a repeat big offensive game against Detroit. I like Green Bay at home. Rock, what do you think?
Possible emotional letdown for the Packers. That was a big win down here in Dallas. All right, so Devontae Adams still has turf toe. He didn't practice today. They're still listing him as questionable, not out. Just so Detroit has to game plan for him.
Sure.
Detroit's beaten the Packers 4 straight times, twice without Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
And these people are in the same division, so they know each other well. Detroit's getting 4.5. I'm going to take them to cover, and just because I'm from Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, I'm going to take the Packers.
Green Bay to win by a field goal.
By a field goal.
So that's a win-win.
By a field goal.
Alrighty, so that wraps up the predictions for Week 6. Be sure to like and comment if you have any debates with us. We'd love to see some comments down there. Tune in next week for Week 7. Rock and Behr signing out.
Adios.